Hey, I'm Madeline Sklar, host of the Social ROI Chat, and we had a great one today. I'm here with our special guest, Paul Ince, but you may know him as Biz Paul. Hey, Paul, how are you?
Hey, Madeline. It's so great to be here. What a wonderful, wonderful hour of chat that was.
Oh, that's so great to hear that. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It is a very fast moving chat. It goes so quick. It's like the fastest hour of the week.
Was it really even an hour? I honestly, I struggled to keep up. There was one moment where I lost the train of thought and I accidentally cleared the column on TweetDeck and thought, what a disaster. But it was so fast that, the next answer is there and you go again.
Yeah, it just there's so many people that come on. It just makes for a great hour of chat. So I'm so glad you were our guest today because you do a lot of cool things. And so we thought today's topic was just so perfect for you. The topic was conversational marketing, getting ahead of the game. And so before we dive in and have you share some thoughts on these questions, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I wear many hats. My sort of day job, if you like, is I run a marketing agency in the UK. And we concentrate very much on driving people to do things. So whether that's traffic or maybe it's picking up the phone or maybe it's buying things, whatever it is, we try and specialize in that. I have a specialism in social. So I do a lot of strategy. So that's one hat. And then I am the founder of MarketEd.Live, just getting the promo in.
Yep.
Marketed, MarketEd.Live, which is a marketing event in the UK that takes place every fall, autumn, depending on where you live. Yeah, we have the best people from around the world speak about marketing in general. That's one thing. And then, as part of what we do work with chatbots and conversational marketing, of which I am a huge fan, not just of the bot, but of the idea.
I love that. That is awesome. I've heard so many great things about MarketEd.Live. I was following along on Twitter and I just loved what was going on over there in the UK. So kudos to you for putting on a great event. It was really cool to watch.
Thank you. I mean, it takes a lot of effort, but we have such a great community, and it's gone international now, and people traveling from America, Australia, Slovenia, Greece, Ireland. We had so many people. It was really quite something.
That is so cool. That is awesome. Well, let's dive into some of these questions. I know it's late over there in the UK. I don't want to keep you up too late. Um, let's start with question number one. What is conversational marketing?
Well, for me, conversational marketing is sort of what it says. It's about having a conversation with somebody in order to help them make a decision. So that might be to buy something, or it might be to help somebody or answer a question, whatever that is. If we were talking in a retail store, then someone might ask a question to an assistant, and that person would provide the answer, and that might then end up with a sale. It's no different whether you use technology or a human-to-human interaction. It's about that process of striking up a two-way interaction.
Okay, cool. And shout out and hello to Teresa. I see that she's here.
Nature
Welcome.
one of my
Welcome to,
favorites.
yeah, and she's going to be our guest next week on the Social ROI chat. So excited. Okay, so let's now dive into question number two, segue over to that. What type of businesses can use chatbots and when is the best time to use one?
Well, I would say that any business has the ability now to take advantage of this stunning technology. When you have things like ManyChat or Chat Fuel or Landbot, or there's so many available now, and they usually have a free tier, right? So any business can get involved with it. And the great thing is you don't need to code. All you need to do is to just think about the conversation that you want to have. So if you want it to be, I don't know, a bot that answers questions like frequently asked questions or something like that, how do I make a return, or what is the status of my order, or are you open on a Friday? These are all questions that you can map out, and you can, it doesn't take a genius to kind of work out what these conversations could be. So because you don't have to code, a lot of these solutions just allow you to say, if they say this, or you can even, say, limit the options, then this is the next response. It's so fantastic. It's really kind of democratic in the way that this technology is available to people. So for a really small business of one person could write a small bot and have the ability for their customers to interact with it.
I love that. Most of the people that come on the social ROI chat are marketers. And it seems like that is an industry, like social media marketers. I'm seeing more and more of them utilizing chatbots. But of course, like you said, like pretty much any industry, is there any in particular that's really embracing it really heavily right now? Do you know?
Some of the people that I work with in the e-commerce space seem to be embracing it a lot. So things like, if you have Shopify, and that integrates really super well with a Facebook page, and you can query the Shopify database through ManyChat, so and Chatfuel and stuff like that. So what that means is that actually some of the more detailed questions can be answered really easily. What's the status of my order? When will it be delivered? The bot might say, please can you tell me what the order number is? And then the bot can go and interrogate Shopify and say, okay, it's going to be delivered Wednesday. That's great from a customer point of view, because all I wanted to do as the customer is say, well, where is it? Tell me it's coming on Wednesday. That's great. It's not late. I just know when it's coming. You've answered my question really quickly. I'm satisfied.
That's great. It seems like that would really free up a lot of time for a small business where, they're trying to do everything, and customer service can be very time consuming. So it seems like simple things like that, and maybe some frequently asked questions. I hear people talk about that being used. I'm playing around with the idea of setting it up for reminders for the Twitter chat, so people know when, remind them when the chat goes each week, and then even with this live stream each week. So many different ways of using it.
I think, anything that there's a question. So one of the things that we do at MarketEd.Live is we know that there are always questions about an event. So who's speaking? How much are tickets? How do I get a ticket? Which hotels do you have discounts on? Where can I park my car? We were able to identify all the sorts of barriers to having a great experience, and we created a concierge bot. And the point of the concierge bot is just to answer questions from ticket holders. And it really did save us a lot of time. Got people to the hotel that they needed, got them the train discounts that they needed, or whatever, and they were just simply able to get the answer to their question, and we were able, therefore, to put more energy into the event itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. Brenda says the chatbots become a powerful tool for a small business. I think is we're going to see more and more small businesses really embrace this, because there are free versions of this, free and paid, with most of these tools that we've talked about. I've been using ManyChat. I'm still on the free account. I haven't even gotten to where I need the paid account yet. So it's nice that it's kind of like when people were first starting with email and they sign up for MailChimp because it's free for the first 2,000 emails. And it's so great for small businesses to have that ability. Like, there's no reason not to do it because it's free, right? So
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, any small business, like I say, you don't need to code. A small business usually knows their customer base better than anyone. Small businesses have such an advantage over large corporations. There's not a big hierarchy. You can take a decision. You can just go and create this bot to help you out, to help your customers out, more importantly, and really help them have a great experience of your business.
Are there like misconceptions that people seem to have? Because, you know, you hear chatbot and sometimes we think of negative things because, you know, the media can be really big about portraying it badly. So do you feel like there's a lot of pushback on that where people are just like, oh no, I don't want chatbots. Those are bad. Those are evil.
I don't think the word bot helps particularly because obviously it is from robot, and people don't like interacting with robots. There's this huge fear about are robots and AI. You know, is that going to get rid of people's jobs and all that kind of thing? So I think there is a bit of a negative connotation. We have worked with clients where we've made sure that the bot has a name to make it slightly more personable without trying to hide that it's a bot, because I never think that you should hide what it is, but giving it a name, educating people as to what it does and why that is a useful tool for them is important to get around that. But poorly designed bots don't help. There's plenty of examples of bots going wrong. Microsoft had one, Facebook had the two bots that kind of developed their own language, and people get a bit frightened by that. You know, the whole artificial intelligence thing just isn't there yet, in my opinion. So all we're doing with chatbots at the moment is just guiding people through a pathway to get them to the place that they need to be.
Right. And it seems like that this is such a great tool that'll help do that. Let's jump over to question number 5. How can a business encourage their customers to interact with their chatbot?
Well, I do think you have to explain what it is and what it's for. Because if people don't really understand its function, I don't think that they get the most out of it. And it's a bit like the IVR on a telephone. You know, if you ring and you don't know what option you're pressing, are you pressing 1 for this, 2 for this, 3 for this? If you don't understand what you have to do, you'll press the wrong button and then feel frustrated. So educating customers as to what it's for and how it can help them is important, I think. And that can be a fairly long process. Having a simple bot that allows them to get a positive response quickly, I think, helps people accept the bot for a company and doesn't then get scared. But I do think that one of the critical points when you're designing a bot is having that escape route, having that way out, and to sort of say to customers, well, here's a bot. This will help you with some questions. If you want to know where your order is, this is the fastest way of actually getting that information. But you know what? If you want to speak to a human being, you just have to press this or say stop or whatever it is. And that makes people feel a little bit better, I think, a little bit more comfortable, that they're not being pushed to one side, that there is an avenue for them to get the answer they need.
Yeah, that's great. Well, how about one more question? So what are the tools that you recommend? You know, so somebody says, hey, I want to venture, like, so I'm sold, I want to venture into this. Where should I go?
Well, as we've said, Chatfuel are great platforms. I know ManyChat. I started with ManyChat, to be fair, and the MarketEd.Live bot uses Chatfuel. And it does that because I kind of have a slight preference for they call it AI, but it's not really. You have to tell it to recognize certain words. It's not real AI. But I have a slight preference for that. And that, I think, is an easy way to get into it. But if you don't want to use Facebook, because some people don't want to use Facebook, there are other tools that can use WhatsApp. There's a tool called Landbot, which I quite like. That's landbot.io if you want to go and look for it. And you can create a bot that just sits on a website. So my sort of like personal website, bizpool.com, I totally replaced with a bot built on Landbot that just kind of says who I am, what I'm doing, where I'm speaking, here's my agency, here's the event, and all these kind of things, just to kind of have a bit of fun really with it. So those are some really easily accessible things. But just pick one, start a little bot, have a look at what you can do in terms of getting some of your content out. So one thing we haven't talked about is using chatbots for marketing. And these bots have a great way of identifying your subscribers and sending out, I don't know, stuff about, here's my latest blog post, or how, this is a not quite a special offer, because Facebook doesn't like overly promotional content on bots, but you can do push messaging, which is a great way. And like you said, Madeline, to get a reminder out for social ROI, it's great to do a bot, something like that.
Yeah, it's something I'm definitely kind of playing around with and seeing how I can make that work. So let's see. Brenda also says, can I share some info on a chatbot technology that also offers a class to learn it? Plus, you don't have to be a coder to create it. So I'm not quite understanding the question there. So can she share? Let me make sure I understand this. So she wants to know, can she share information on a chatbot technology that also offers a class to learn it?
I mean, just in case that's clarified, but there are plenty of Facebook groups actually that are really helpful resources to kind of share information and get info on, like, tricks and tips and stuff like that to do things slightly better. That I find them quite useful. And of course, there's probably 1,000,001 courses on Udemy about chatbots. So those sorts of places will be good to start for sure.
Yeah, and I know ManyChat has some video training that walks you through how to use their platform. I think you can just go on YouTube and get a lot of information sharing how chatbots work. Paul, this is so great. I feel like we're just scratching the surface on this. It seems like there's so much to talk about with this topic, and I'm excited that people are getting more excited about it and interested in it. I feel like 2019 is going to be the big year of chat bots. Or do you prefer to call them messenger bots? I hear some people say messenger bots. They prefer that over chat bots.
But it may just be habit. I tend to call them the chat bots. I sometimes replace the bot bit and call it chat marketing. Sometimes when I'm talking to potential clients about what this is, I refer to it as chat marketing or conversational marketing to try and get over any fear about the bot thing. It's about conversations. It's about chat. The messenger chat thing sort of makes me feel like it's Facebook Messenger, which it isn't always. So I tend to call them chatbots.
Yeah. I was just curious what your thoughts were on that, because I've heard some people, like the CEO at ManyChat, we had him on the social ROI chat. He likes to call them messenger chats, or chat bots, like messenger bots. I think it was messenger bots is how he's referring to it. So I was just curious. Okay, so Brenda is clarifying. So I think what it was is she wanted to ask if she could mention this, which is fine, sure. She said the program is Mobile Monkey by Larry Kim and taught by Isaac Rudansky, and the classes on Udemy. I think there are so many programs now. I've seen so much information that shares like how to use these. So Paul, this has been so great. Thank you so much for your time today. What is the best way for people to get in touch if they want to learn more and see what you're up to and maybe you utilize your services? Where should they go?
Well, the best thing is to give me a shout on Twitter or Instagram at BizPaul. That's the easiest place to find me. That's where I tend to hang out and tend to respond to people. So it would be great for people to get in touch. I'm also on LinkedIn if you want to contact me there as well. That would be absolutely fine. And I'm still on Snapchat, but I mean, I perhaps don't use it as much as I did. But yeah, no, I mean, Twitter is a great place. Instagram's a great place. And it would be brilliant to keep in touch with everyone that's either watched this or been on the chat this evening.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It's been so great having you with us today, sharing all this great information. So thanks. We appreciate it. And thank you, everybody who's tuning in, whether you're watching live or watching the recap. Appreciate your time today. We'll be back next week with another great chat. So until then, we'll see you out on social media. Bye, everybody.